Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. Using words on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and a bit of an impromptu video. Well, you've read the title. SEGA Master System memories. Now, people all know about, my love affair with the SEGA Mega Drive, my midlife crisis when I, put together. It's the reason this channel exists, to be fair. I, re-pieced together the exact game collection I had on my imported Mega Drive back in the day. Now, I get a lot of requests to do a similar video to a video response I did years ago to Happy Console Gamer. I think it was the anniversary of the Mega Drive or something, or he called it the Sega Genesis Rocks, and asked people to do a response, based on their memories. And I obviously did the Sega Mega Drive Rocks. And yeah, I've pieced together, I've talked bits here and there, I should say, about my memories of the Master System. I think long-time viewers of this channel pretty much know, the majority of it. But I get... What do you want? That's my doggy. Hang on. Come here. Come here. There we go. Yeah, I've talked about it, many times in many videos. You're hogging the camera. Sorry. I'll go and feed you in a minute, Buble. Yeah, many times, and if you've been a long time, I've lost my thread totally. Long time viewer of this channel, then you can pretty much piece together the story. But I guess from new subscribers, I should say, asked to talk about it in one video. My memories of the Master System, and it's a system I have a lot of love for, because obviously the Mega Drive is pretty much my favourite console of all time. And ZX Spectrum is my favourite computer of all time. Both shaped my my childhood experiences of gaming. I would say the ZX Spectrum more so because it was my first computer and gave me a chance to play arcade games at home, albeit very crudely. But the Master System was this brilliant step in between that bridged the gap. The other thing I want to quickly say before I jump into this is I do really enjoy watching collector videos from people in North America about the Sega Master System, because obviously would it be fair to say it tanked in North America? Obviously, it didn't stand a chance against the NES. But yeah, the fact that it's kind of a niche sort of system for collectors and stuff like that. And yeah, you know what? People can hang me out to dry on this one, but it's technically far superior to the NES, apart from the sound, obviously. At least in the European and North American ones. But yeah, but obviously in Europe and Brazil and stuff like that, and particularly in the UK, the Sega Master System was huge. So yeah, I kind of find it funny watching these videos and seeing people reminisce and talk about, or telling you how to start a collection for a system that ultimately failed, when to me, in my neck of the woods, it was a big, huge deal. Now, as I said, it bridged the gap between the Spectrum and the Mega Drive for me. There were a couple of sort of systems along the way, like, Atari Lynx and Game Boy, but they obviously handheld and stuff. But basically, I remember reading it in that 3-page section that was in CVG back in the day called Mean Machines, which spawned a magazine. If you're from the United Kingdom, I'm pretty sure you remember CVG, you remember the Mean Machines section, and you remember the magazine that eventually became Stuff of Legend. But yeah, I remember seeing it. I didn't really know anything about it. I just remember seeing in these 3 pages these games and stuff like it was Wonder Boy and Monsterland and Outrun, which looked absolutely phenomenal, Afterburner, Space Harrier, and just remember, and knowing it wasn't the arcade, but being someone who loved Sega arcade games and grew up on Sega arcade games, it was very impressive. And you've got to remember as well, at this point in this country, the Amiga and the Atari ST 16-bit systems were, they were kind of delivering this spate of graphics that we could only dream of, that were bordering on the arcades. We could dream of as a kid, but we couldn't afford them because these were, these were very expensive systems. And so when the Master System came along, it was like, what was it? The base unit was something like, I don't know, 100 quid, which, sounds like a lot of money, but what it is when you're a kid, especially me when I had to get mine. But that was a big deal, and these graphics were way above, Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore, stuff like that. Fell short of the Amiga and the Atari ST, although in some cases they actually, provided or superseded it and did far better game conversions, but that was down to the programmers. So this was a big deal. And I remember seeing adverts on TV, pull-outs in magazines, and that amazing fold-out piece of paper, glossy paper, with all the games on the back. You flip it, and it had a big picture of a Master System and a light phaser, you know, and all the units, the base unit, the Master System unit, in, what was the other one? The Mega, I don't know, the one with 3D glasses and shit. So yeah, I remember having that. And I don't know why, but it was, you know, I decided that I really wanted this machine. I really, really wanted this machine. You know, it was way cheaper than an Amiga and Atari ST. Still too pricey for me. I had 3 jobs at the time. I worked Friday night in a pub in the kitchen and waiting on tables. I worked Saturday morning in my dad's garage, helping with MOTs and sweeping up and stuff like that. And Sunday afternoon in a pub. So, you know, when I was sort of, you know, like 12 and stuff like that, 11, 10, whatever, I was pretty, you know, flash with the cash, if you will. And so I started saving for it, and I knew I was never going to be able to afford one brand new, so I started looking around for one second hand. And you know, I had half the money available, and I remember it was during an episode of Only Fools and Horses, knowing that I was so close to, you know, getting the money together for it, or half of it, knowing that my mum would let me have the rest for a Christmas present. I just remember kept looking at that pamphlet and flipping it and flipping it and flipping it. Like, you know, when you're a kid, when you constantly read the same thing again, as if somehow on the 50th time you read it, it's going to change. Yeah, so I just remember watching an episode of Fools and Horses. What was the one? Was it the Frog Brothers Legacy? You remember the one with the church and the crying Virgin Mother? Anyway, that's obviously. And yeah, I kept looking at it. And these days, you know, it's unheard of now. Those days, it's unheard of now with internet, eBay, and stuff like that. But you used to buy, you know, a newspaper, and you used to go to the back end of the newspaper, and there'd be black and white, and there'd be like houses, cars, you know, clothes, stuff like this, giveaways, toys, and then there'd be a tiny little section like this, which is computers, consoles, and stuff like that. And so this is, I think this is 1987, late 87. My God, I only had it for a bit before I got rid of it and got my Mega Drive, but that's another story. And yeah, and I remember going through this magazine daily. This magazine, it was the Bristol Evening Post, going through it nightly, I should say, through the black and white adverts and looking for it. And I came across one that was in Weston-super-Mare. And I think it came with, I've never forgotten this, it came with, it was the Master System Unit 1. You know, the original one with the card slot and stuff like that, and a diagram, like you needed a diagram to use it, and had to pause and reset on the actual console. Still think it's a sexy beast. It's a shame I've only got a Master System 2 now. Random tangent. So I unboxed Master System 2 in cash converters for £39. Someone's having a laugh. Anyway, yeah. So I came across this advert, and I said to my mum, look, you know, was it 80 quid, I think? Will you put the rest? Yeah, it had a Afterburner Wonder Boy hang on a card, and it was one with the snail maze built in, and it had 2 control pads. And I said, will you put the other half, and I'll have it for Christmas? And she went, yeah. So we phoned them and said, we'll come down tomorrow, we'll drive down tomorrow, and we'll pick it up. These things were so exciting back then, you know, when you used to read in the back of magazines like this and then drive down, and that night's sleep was killing me. You know, when you're a kid and you're paranoid, what do they sell it? What did they sell it? Oh, it's not going to be there, it's not going to be there. So I couldn't sleep. The next day we got in the car, we drove all the way to Weston, I love talking about the old days, pre-sat-navs and everything like that, with an A to Z, looking around into a little housing estate, found it, they showed me it worked, it was boxed and everything, it was absolutely immaculate. Oh, I've had a time machine, I go back in time and slap myself and say, don't sell it, Ickle Dave. Yeah, and they showed it to me and it worked and everything like that, and I came home and I remember I talked my mum into, can I just have a go at it for one day, you know, just to make sure all the kinks are out of the system and it's fine and everything like that, you know. And I think she just did it to keep me quiet, so she let me, you know, have a go on it one day before you know, it got put away for Christmas, because at this point I think it was probably late October. What a wait. I mean, from that point onwards, when I was waiting, like Spectrum just didn't cut it. But yeah, so I had to go on it for a day. I had a little colour portable in my TV that I also bought myself. I had a good work ethic as a kid, may I say. And yeah, so I remember playing Afterburner and thinking, and my twin brother was there, and we were like, oh my God, it looks just like the arcade. It didn't, and we knew it didn't, but we were just spouting off crap. Played the Snail Maze, played Wonder Boy, which I think is really close to the arcade, loved it, and played Hang On, which I've still got a soft spot for, which is pants though compared to the arcade, especially when you consider Hang On Junior, which is pretty much running on some sort of Master System hardware in the arcades. I don't know, look it up. So it got put away, and yeah, thus began my love affair with, you know, the SEGA Master System. My first home console that I bought well, to some degree, bought myself, paid up for myself, half at least, and was mine. I did share it, but I didn't have to, and it lived in my room, and it was brilliant. And yeah, I loved it. And it was, the games were like 29 quid, 24 quid and 29 quid. I remember they were 24 quid, and then I sent off for Wonder Boy Monsterland. And when I sent it off, and this is when you could order it straight from Sega, and you write a check, well, gave money to my mum, she write a check, send it. And yeah, then by the time it took the check to get there, they upped it by a £5. That's unbelievable and unheard of. That's like now just saying, you know, after 2 months, sorry, Call of Duty's no longer 50 quid, it's 55.99. I don't know what their thinking was, but yeah, so the check came back. They made me pay an extra £5, write a new check, pay an extra £5 to get it. But so many great memories. You know, it was like birthdays and Christmases. I remember my gran got me My Hero, which is the arcade port. I think Kung Fu Master. Balls hard like Kung Fu Master. I remember I couldn't afford stuff, so we used to get those catalogues like Littlewoods and Marshall and Wood, where you paid like over the odds of a tenner for a game, but they let you pay it off over 30 weeks at like £2 a week. So I bought Altered Beast, which I loved at the time. 30 weeks later, when I'm still paying it off, not so much. I remember as a special treat on our birthdays, our mum used to take us to Western Superman. We go around the arcades and we go into, was it the In Shops? It's this place in Dolphin Square that had import shops, stuff like that. And just off Dolphin Square as well, there was this place, I think it might still be there, but on the other side of the road now, where you go upstairs and they had a game section. They had a section of Master System games because they weren't that readily available in the high street. Then you had to go to places like Virgin Megastore downtown and stuff like that. But she used to take us to West, and we'd have fish and chips on our birthday, and I'd take my birthday money, and I bought Double Dragon. And I remember coming home, and me and my twin brother, played the balls out of it. Double Dragon on the Master System is absolutely phenomenally good. Then I remember when I ordered Wonder Boy 3, the Monster Trap, and it was funny because we went on holiday for a week at a caravan or a chalet. I think it was the chalet at that point in Westwood Home. And I remember thinking, please be there when I get back. Please be there when I get back. Please be there when I get back. And I enjoyed my holidays, you do when you're a kid. Seaside, great. Arcades, great. But going into the arcade and seeing Wonder Boy Monsterland there, I just kept thinking, oh, I hope it's there when I get back. I hope it's there when I get back. And it was. You know, things like this. That's why being a kid is great. Your expectation for stuff and how you can, the anticipation for something, and it's almost as enjoyable as the gameplay hours you get out of it. I know that might sound weird, but yeah, it's true. And then I remember, I forget what game it was, but there was a bloke. He was my brother's mate. My brother was 2 years above me at school. My older brother. Not my twin. Yeah, I want to say it was actually Altered Beast. But I lent him a game, and he lent me Shinobi, which is one of my favourite Master System games. It's absolutely phenomenally good, unbelievably good. Again, you know, you kids like, oh, it's arcade perfect. Well, it certainly was compared to the Spectrum, which is, to be fair, a good port. Yeah, and then he moved away. And I kind of think, you know, I would have given it back if I didn't know he was suddenly going to be pulled away. I don't know, maybe it was parent things. But yeah, I kind of think I got the better end of the stick on that one. And then there was the one that I really, really, really wanted, because I remember playing the arcade game in Longleat Safari Park. Odd arcade game to have in a safari park was R-Type, and loved it. Spanked my ass, killed me. Loved the Spectrum version. All the home ports apart from the Spectrum version were And then I remember reading in, you know, the Meme Machines magazine that, like, holy shit, this looks phenomenal. And I remember I had to get 2 buses. I saved up my 24 quid, 2 buses to get to Virgin Megastore. Well, I say Megastore, it was tiny at this point in Broadmead. Bought it. Then had to get 2 buses back, fell asleep on the second bus, overshot my bus stop by like a mile or something, and it was pissing down, and I had to walk home in the pissing down rain, because this is before mobile phones and stuff, and I'm not going to get a cab out in the fucking sticks and shit like that. So I had the game like this, like must protect game. Must protect game. And yeah, still got home, you know, dried off, showered, got a cold from it. R-Type saw me through that, especially the, you know, the bonus level, which is pretty much graphically better than all the other levels, and it's a bonus level. Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I had My Hero on card, my Hang-On game was on card as well, and was it Black Belt? I'm pretty sure I had that on card. And then, this is where it's really cool, there was it Sega Master System Power Magazine or something like that? They ran 2 competitions. Larry Bundy, or Guru Larry, found and scanned in, I should have found it and put it in this video, or maybe I have, I don't know, found my competition entry in that magazine, scanned it and put it on my Facebook page, which was brilliant. Thanks, Larry. Of a competition, you had to draw like a light gun, and I went to friggin' town. Now, I think he found my second competition entry, but never mind, we'll get to that. Went to town drawing this light gun with all these extensions and stuff like that, scopes and stuff, extension, pump action, rumble. Hey, I invented the rumble pack. I also invented virtual reality, but no, seriously, I'll get to that. And yeah, and I remember sending it to the magazine, and then there were no dedicated Master System magazines at the time, so this was a big deal. Opening up one of the issues, forget which number it was, and saying, holy shit, I'm in print! I'm in print! And I won a Sega Light Phaser with a copy of, was it Rescue. Oh, that's a brilliant game. The little blokes on the rail cart thing like that going around and you have to shoot from the top down. Yeah, won it. Absolutely fantastic game. And like to win something. I only ever won a board game before that in Look-In magazine. Who remembers Look-In if you're from my generation? And yeah, so that was like a big, big deal. And to get a Light Phaser, because they were like, what, 49 quid? And I loved the Light Phaser. And then obviously got to play Operation Walkthrough, which is a fantastic arcade port. And then I should see if I can piece together a list of all my Master System games. And then, yeah, so then there was another competition. So I came, I won that one, but came runners-up in the next one, which is the one Larry sent a picture of, actually, which is design a peripheral for the Sega Master System. So I designed, as if you could run it on a Master System, virtual reality glasses headset. So yeah, so world, you're welcome, like PlayStation VR and shit. I should have patented that, because I invented it. All right, I know I didn't before everyone jumps in the comment section, but hey, I was way ahead of my time because this was before the virtual reality, I don't know why I'm looking over there, I should be looking there, virtual reality arcade machines and stuff like that. But yeah, so I designed this headset and stuff like that. And that was printed, that was only on 1/3 of a screen. And I remember being pissed off because I came runners-up to a peripheral that was a coffee machine, I shit you not, that dispensed a cookie when you beat a level. And apparently it was so badly drawn that the people from the magazine redrew it. I mean, I smell bullshit. Even as a kid, I smelled bullshit. So a shit idea like that beat me and the other person's, who, I forget what it was, but it was better than mine. No, of course it could be better than mine, virtual reality, yeah. And you felt the need to redraw it. I'm saying you didn't have any prizes, and so you did that deliberately. But I won, because we had an amazing advertising campaign for the Master System in this country. Look it up. It was a TV with colours down its screen and a face that swelled out, and it said, do me a favour, plug me into a Sega. And yeah, and I've still got this somewhere. In an attic somewhere, a white sweatshirt just had a Sega logo there, and it had the "Do me a favor, plug me into a Sega" thing, TV on the back, and like I was fucking cool at school when I had that bad boy. But yeah, so many great memories. Galaxy Force 2 again. So the experience as a kid to save and scrimp. To be fair, it only took me 3 weekends because I had that many jobs. But you know what I mean. Scrimp and save, and then have that realization of going downtown by yourself or with your mates to buy a game. Fantastic. And Galaxy Force, 2. Well, is it 2? No, it's just Galaxy. I can't remember. I've got gameplay of it on my channel. Gameplay of loads of Master System stuff on my channel. Blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. I don't think I had a bad game. In fact, I don't think there was such a thing as a bad game when you were a kid, because this was all you had access to, and if you bought a game, it would last you for ages. And so, you rinse and repeat the crap out of it. But so many good memories, and I think the most satisfying thing is the fact that I paid for half of it, but bought all the games myself, won a couple of magazines, along the way, got Sega, Light Phaser, because I never would have got one if it wasn't for that. And there was obviously no one had a NES, at secondary school when I was there. So I think it was the first year, actually. But quite a few people had a Master System, and I just remember the same thing. My mate, Lee Moore, I haven't said that name in years. Weird. He had a Sega Master System, and it was funny because he just came in one day and said, "Hey, Dave," because we only sat next to each other in 2 classes, English and French. Hey, English and French. Because you got a Master System, haven't you? Oh, I just finished this. Do you want to have a go on it? I'm like, I never even asked for it. And like, well, you and I bought it eventually. Same copy, I think. You're lending me Golden Axe? Golden Axe on the Master System was amazing. Now, that really was encroaching, again, not just, rose-tinted retro goggles right now, but that looked phenomenal. Golden Axe on the Master System, although only 1 player, is an amazing game. And yeah, and it just came in one day and just lent it to me, and I played the crap out of it and loved it. And again, I think I actually ended up buying that copy of him. And obviously, eventually I ended up wanting to get a Mega Drive, and I sold my Master System. Which then I needed the money, but you know, to put towards my Japanese Mega Drive, because even though I love my Master System, excuse me, Windy Pops, I think I got away with it. When I saw that the Mega Drive was coming out, I was like, holy shit, that is arcade perfect. 16-bit Sega, I freaking need that in my life. No, what happened to my voice then? So, but now, heartbreaking, and just think, wouldn't it just been better, Dave, just to carry on, save it up, you know, for it? And well, I mean, this is the eyes of a retro collector now, so that's, you know, hindsight is brilliant. But yeah, I at least just kept the games, and in fact, true story. I conned, I guess you could say, Richard Branson out of a Master System converter. I know I was going to say maybe I should have just bought one of those and kept the games, but yeah, I remember. This is terrible. Hey, I was a cheeky you know, scamp. I wrote a letter, dear Richard Branson, care of Virgin, because Virgin Mastertronic, you know, sold the Master System at the time, and yeah, I wrote him a letter going, dear Richard Branson. It's awfully cold here at the moment, and what with my dad working away on the oil rigs, it's not going to be a very good Christmas. Seriously. Oh, I'm such an arsehole. Well, Mini Dave was an arsehole. Hey, I spent all this money on his games, and he shafted me on Wonder Boy for that $5, so I'm allowed this. I said, oh, is there any chance I could buy a Master System? This is when I had my Mega Drive, by the way. You know, it cost, and then 3 days later, when he got the letter, his personal SEGA, shit you not, phoned me and said, Mr. Branson's read your letter. Probably don't believe that. He goes, he'd like you to send you a Master System converter. We just need to know that you don't, because people were importing the shit out of them at this point, because I mean, I think I must have had it for a year at this point. Anyway, this is a quick story and I'll get off it, because this is about Master System memories, not Mega Drive memories. And it was like, it'll only work, this is bullshit, because it would work on Japanese one, because it worked on mine, but it'll only work if you've got an official Mega Drive. And I went, yeah, got official Mega Drive. So 2 lies. 3, Dad working on an oil rig, being poor at Christmas, and having an English Mega Drive. But anyway, off that. The Sega Master System will go down, as I said, the bridge between Spectrum and Mega Drive, and my system, my first own system, that while I did share, I didn't have to if I wanted to. I could be an arsehole. I could lock myself, because the Spectrum was downstairs, I could lock myself away in my room for hours, just pounding the crap out of fucking Double Dragon and shit like that. And like I said, R-Type, Outrun, you know, there's so many great games. Not Rocky, looking at you, Rocky, I do regret buying you. Which was a shame, because I loved Rocky. But yeah, just... You know, it's just been fucking brilliant fun talking about this. So how weird and sad am I? But yeah, Sega Master System, I salute you. You are basically my second favourite system. No, third, sorry. Spectrum, Mega Drive, Master System. Till I rethink that list. But yeah, good times, Sega Master System. Good times. And yeah, I've really enjoyed talking about this, because it was nice that people asked me to go into, in one video, you know, a little bit more in depth about the Master System. But as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.